Yeah.
What?
You in the convo now.
It's been natural now.
Yeah. Don't just listen. Welcome to the convo. You lucky even tune
Pop
in.
shit on the
Southgate
connect.
raised me. Now I'm talking to the ruins. Built from pain, stitch faith into ambition. Now my words turn broke dreams into commissions. Every scar got a story. Every L was tuition. This the voice of them nights I was wishing.
We back. We back. Lesson to legacy.
Mm-hmm.
My lesson to legacy. The people lesson to legacy. Y'all lesson to legacy.
Mm-hmm.
The convo. The conversation. Where we get that guapito. Y'all got the memo. Y'all got the memo. They got the memo, G. Amen. 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 So I'm gonna say amen. Cause hey, listen, before I introduce my guest, this is the first time that we actually prayed.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. You ain't a vet. You got the phone going off. I thought he was a vet. See, he getting too bougie. He just did the connect, right? So now he in the whole you got 2 under your belt, B. Come on, B. Before we get started though, like I said, before I introduce I don't want to say a guest, you know. I'm gonna say before I introduce my brother, I just want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
My first time praying on the set before we actually did it. I said a prayer to myself, but actually coming out and praying, I wouldn't have no other than Mikey.
What's up, my guy? Yeah, what's up?
Amen. 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 Listen. I love to be honest. Like, this is a whole natural thing we actually do up here, right?
Right.
So, like I said, like, I want to give you a proper introduction, but the funny story, the backstory to this is, I had a couple of guests up here prior, from Tony Brown, Pretty Tony, and
Seafood.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we were mainly talking about Teddy Riley a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike E name came up a lot. And I brushed right across it.
Mm-hmm.
I brushed right across it because I wasn't fucking with the nigga. I'm just saying. But at the same time, you know, I'm the kind of person that can admit that, I ain't gonna say people, I'm gonna say me, I can be on my own way sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sometimes when you think a certain person is looking at something in a certain way, and you go off of that without having a conversation with a person, you can start to create all kind of things in your mind, formulating on what something is that it ain't.
Right.
But not knowing that all you got to do is just have one conversation.
That's it.
That can just straighten out a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And and I say that to say, it was like undeniable and inedible. Am I saying that word right?
Inevitable?
Inedible.
Inevitable.
Okay, inedible.
Yeah.
Let me teach me.
It had to happen.
But
Yeah.
so, you know, when I was looking at the situation, and it was like God kept like saying, hey, you know, you gotta get Mikey,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to God like, yo, God, well, come on, man. Like, you know, I'm trying to be hard here. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it won't until, you know, with me having my guy here today, Pretty Tony, who we have up here today, kept like nitpicking at me saying, yo, mentioning Mikey's name, you know. And that time came when I seen him post something. And the song, which is my G's, OGs, when I seen that and I'm hearing them rhyme, right? And I know of them from like singing, right? Which I still never really heard no song of him singing. I just know that everybody say he talented. But when I heard that song, the first thing I said is, I understand why he was one of the original members of the Neptunes. I understand why what Teddy Riley saw in him and went and signed that man. I understand why he one of the first ones who got that big check. I understand why he used to be at my grandma's house getting that smizzo. I understand why he was connected in a lot of ways to the streets and everything happened. I understand why he right here, right now, on the conversation.
Yeah.
Mikey.
My God. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah. We go way back, man.
Yeah, we definitely do go
a long
back.
way, man.
Very, 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 very long way. And like I was saying in the beginning, and it's definitely tied. Tell me though, are we connected though through Pretty though, or it was just something totally separate?
Actually,
I remember you was at Independence with Josh.
Yeah, Josh was definitely the first Bayside guy, Bayside Arms guy, and that area that I encountered. Him and Lily as well.
And Josh is one of my childhood friends, and Lily is a cousin of mine too, who played football with me in junior high too as well.
Yeah, so they played for Independence, so that's where the bond came. And you know Dexter, of course.
That's my cousin, Dexter Gatlin.
It's your cousin. That's my best friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't know. Yeah, maybe you ain't say Dexter Gatlin. Dude, if you say Dexter Gatlin, I'd be like, oh man, yeah, that's cuz.
Yeah, that's my brother. Like, and
nigga smoked me when we was running track.
Yeah, he used to run track. Exactly. So that's how I got cool with Ron and all of them. But as far as you and I, it was Pretty that introduced us, or just like, because me and Pretty was always cool when I was younger. Around that 15 age, we met. And he was like, my cousin got some trees. Mike, go over there, call him, hit him up. Man, you can just go over there. Blah, blah, blah. That's how me and you got cool. And I just happened to come to your crib. You was like, man, come to the crib and grab it up. And I came over there one day and we just bonded.
Yeah, because I just remember, for some reason, I just remember you being at my grandma's house. I don't know why or none of that.
It was the weed.
But you at my grandma's
It was the weed, man. You had all the weed, bro. And I was like, yo, this dude got all the weed. Because I was only experiencing weed through like maybe, because it was like a reservoir, was it? Then the corn sacks and all of that. And then it, you know what I'm saying? That's when I met you, I was like, oh, so it's actually guys out here with weed too.
Yeah. How did you and Pretty meet?
Me and Pretty met. We met through, I want to say he was hanging around Shay.
Shay Bay.
So with
Shay
that
Bay
being
the Nerds,
said, when the
my
Neptunes were hanging out and were a group, myself, Pharrell, Chad, Shay, Pretty was also a dancer.
All right, hold on. All right, hold on real quick. So you say, who was the group?
Myself, me, Chad, Hugo, Pharrell Williams, Sheldon Haley, and Tony Crumble. He was a dancer in the group. Shay and Tony were the dancers.
Shay was a dancer?
Shay was a dancer. Shay was doing no type of rapping or anything.
So for all those who don't know who Shay is, so Shay Bay, real quick, backstory real quick, Shay Bay is like, I want to say from all over, but you would say Princess Anne, the PA area?
Actually, Shay's aunt, Georgia Allen, she lived in right by the Central Library.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So Shay was definitely a Virginia Beach Princess Anne guy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But also Shay and Nicole and all of them, like they was also in Aragona Village, like where my grandma, we all from. So that's where me and Shay used to see each other at. You know what I'm saying?
See, I didn't know anything about. All I knew was Shay, Central Library, the crib by the townhouse over there. That's where we hung out sometimes.
So Shay like grew up around like everybody. Shay always been like thugged out. Shay always been that way.
Blanketed, Shay, because Shay was going to the alternative school.
Yeah.
At one point. Yeah. So he was, you know what I mean? So he was like,
No, Shay was always that guy, but he's also the guy who's on the Nerd album. He's on the cover sitting there playing the video game. For those who don't know. That's
correct.
That's how Shay ended up staying part of the, became the Nerds. Shay also gave me $7,500 towards my lawyer when I was on the run for the feds. For my lawyer. Oh. That's how connected me and
good
Shay.
Dude. He's always been a good dude.
I can't even say I grew up with him, but we known each other since we was like kids. You know what I'm saying? Younger. You know what I'm saying?
Shay and I were really close.
Real dude.
Yeah, for
real dude. Shout out to Shay, man.
Shout out to Shay.
Love you, boy. But Shay, so it was all y'all. So what was y'all called then in this group though?
Well, we were called the Building Children at one point.
The Building Children?
Yeah. the building
What?
children.
And you was dancing.
Oh, man. Uh-oh.
You always thought you could dance. Though.
Yeah, he was a dancer along with Shay at that point. And I met him. I actually met, with my first meeting of I'm Tony Crumble. Y'all call him Pretty. But
Pretty
our
He
first.
didn't come later because he changed the name. Remember back then?
Yeah.
He changed his name to Toby.
Oh.
He was one of the first. He was one of the
Toby
first
too.
guy.
Yeah.
That was, I ain't gonna lie. Like he made me change my. I think I changed my name to L Junebug at the time. Crazy because I was breakdancing and stuff. Then Mr. E.T. But he was like, his name Tony, same as mine. He's like, man, I don't have people start calling me Toby. I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody call you Toby.
Yeah.
That thing I know is girls brawl all on. Yo, I mess with Toby. Who the fuck is Toby? Kunta Kinte Toby? Like,
Yeah, that's when he was on his slave stuff.
Did that come from that?
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of different people. I named somebody eBay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you was wild.
Yeah, I still call them that to this day.
So y'all had this group.
So Omar Chandler, who worked for Teddy Riley, he had a baby by Teddy's sister. To not
Hold on, before you get into that
Yeah.
right there though, but Ted went around doing this when y'all just had this group here.
right. That's why I don't want to jump too far. I have to say. Let me start with, if you really want, before I met Pretty, we did already had the end with Teddy through Omar.
All right, so how did you and Pharrell and Chad meet though? Like,
Okay, so Pharrell and Pharrell's the relationship. The first person I had a relationship with in the Neptunes was Pharrell.
Okay.
And that came through Princess Anne High School. So when I left Independence, now I heard of him in Independence, but I never knew who he was like that. And he was always older than me, so a couple grades ahead. So when I came to Princess Anne High School, I went into the band program. The band program starts in the summer. If you know anything about band, you're doing rehearsals and learning music and all of that before school even starts. So if you get accepted into the band, then you're going to be doing a lot of work in the summer. So when I signed up for the band and I made it, Pharrell was already in the drum line, okay? So when I came, that's where we bonded because I'm playing snare drum. I was a lead snare drummer. Pharrell was playing top bass. So he was like the top bass player on the drum line. So when I got to PA, him and I just really, musically had this musical bond. And both of us were like thinking beyond just band, but we were really talented. Like Pharrell's a really talented musician, myself, but our core is drummers. He's a drummer, I'm a drummer.
So
we both can play drum set.
So where Chad come in at?
Chad and him had already met at a school called Old Donation. Pharrell's mother's an educator. So Pharrell went to Old Donation, which was a gifted program. Right.
When they were taking 2 people from each school.
There you go.
And stuff like that. I remember that shit.
That's where him and Chad met.
Gotcha.
And him and Chad had already kind of met, but there was no there was no structure. There was no, it's just, I know this guy named Chad. He got a keyboard kind of thing. They weren't making music or anything like that at that point. But I think that year is when Pharrell realized, okay, now, when we met too, let me start doing some stuff with Chad. And that's when he was like, yo, I got this guy Chad, because once he realized I was musically talented, could sing and all this, he's like, let's get the Chad house. So that's where we started formulating, making music at that point. Young, there's no deal. Now Chad is over at Kempsville, and he's a drum major there.
He was at Kempsville. So where you come in to fit in with all of them? Especially from you just dancing, like you just dance all in the music and stuff. Like how did that just come out? Because all you used to do is just jump on your hand and spin on your hand. You know what I mean? Like you was all right, and then you used to do this little thing like this and stuff. And you thought you was cool, but you was all right. Well, I'm just saying though,
I was always cool.
always have been.
Yeah, of course.
You're a trendsetter. You're a trendsetter, brother. You know what I mean?
I can say.
But how did you come with all of that? Bringing in what you had though, how did that mix?
I don't know. Like I had a time I hung with everybody. Like me and Shay used to kick it a lot.
But how you meet him?
I can't remember.
You remember how you met Pharrell either?
No.
You just popped that camera around. Nigga, I can dance.
I don't.
Nigga, I dance.
The thing is, Omar had a crib.
Well, I was in this situation when Omar came.
Right. Omar had a crib across the street from Princess Anne High School. So the thing is, as time went on, And we started realizing once Teddy Riley built that studio over there, now mind you, we're playing in the drum line. So when we're playing in the drum line practicing, all we see is something being built. Okay, we see this, and then we see the future on it, you know? So we're like, wait a minute. Then we find out it's Teddy Riley studio. There starts to be press about it in the news and things of that nature. So Pharrell, right then and there, is like, this is what we're doing.
Bingo.
Was you one of the ones, because when I had Tony Brown up here, Tony Brown said y'all was dropping off demos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, see, that's let me see, this is the thing. Oh, Pharrell's was like, I mean, me and Shay would just be like, oh my God, we're doing this again. I can't. He said, every day we're gonna knock on this door until they let us in. So that's what we would do. Me, him, Shay. Shay like, come on, Pharrell. Like, man, no. Because they would turn us away. And we would like, they would be like almost threatening us. So finally we kept going and going because Seafood was one of the security guards. He's like, yo, y'all gotta stop coming up here. And so, but we kept coming. And what happened was Omar, who lived across the street, who used to work at the studio, one day he was like, these kids keep coming up here. Let me hear what y'all got. So he comes outside the studio, Future jacket on. We just like, oh my God, who is this guy? But then we realize it's the dude from Joy and Pain with Rob Bass. So we're hyped
Joy,
now.
pump it up, and pain. Yeah, that was a joint there. Sunshine
and rain.
Yeah, that was it right there.
He comes outside and he's like, yo, let me hear what y'all got. So Pharrell's like, I bet. Mike, yo, let's kick up the Look in the Water record. So he's like, Pharrell starts beatboxing and humming. And I start singing the record because he had already brought me the record in school and showed me the record and everything, how it goes. So we had the melody, the hook, the whole 9 yards. So I'm singing the record, and Omar's like, yo, you wrote that? Talking about Pharrell. He's like, yeah, I wrote that. The whole thing. It's like, yo, y'all dope. So we started hanging out with Omar, going to Omar's crib. This is why, that's how it all started. But what Omar did was he said, look, I got a group. This is my group. So we were Omar's group in his mind.
And y'all name was the
Building Children.
The Building Children at that point.
Yeah. And you worked your way up on in there.
So
Right.
He
pretty
danced
worked
his way.
Yeah, he danced his way in. And Pharrell liked him. Yeah, Pharrell. And he was tight with Shay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he danced his way into the group. And so we would hang out at Omar's crib. And look, what Omar did was Omar said, listen, I'm going to set up a meeting with Teddy for you guys. This is what a lot of people don't know. It was never like a happenstance where Teddy just saw us and was like, oh my God, they're dope. No. Omar was like, I'm going to set up a meeting for you to perform for Teddy. And we're like, oh my God. So we knew.
We're like, oh my God.
Yeah, we go to school. We're like, today's the day, guys. Everybody be ready. When we leave school, we walking over to the studio. I'll never forget that day, bro. I'll never forget that day.
Hold on, that's just crazy how just so happened he builds a studio in Princess Anne High School.
Yeah.
Right by, you know what I'm saying? Like
it was destiny.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was destiny.
It was
destiny. It was a destiny moment.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So we went that day, I'll never forget, and we're like excited, obviously. And then they let us in, First time in the studio, and I remember how it smelled and everything. It was like this smell that was like really dope. It was just, I'd never forget it. It was a certain smell in Future. And
you remember Tony Brown?
Yeah, but he wasn't there yet. I mean, he wasn't anywhere. He wasn't there that time that I remember.
Oh, gotcha.
He came later because he's from here. But we went inside the studio and we waited and waited. I remember being in the waiting room forever, but we're all looking at all these platinum plaques everywhere. And we're just like, yo, this is crazy that we're actually in here.
So what did y'all know about Teddy Riley at the time, though?
Come on, everything that the world knew. Guy, come on. He's it. He is the man. He's the super producer of, hip hop R&B at that time.
Orange Juice Jones.
Michael Jackson. I mean, no, he hadn't did Mike yet for that record. But yeah, it was like on his way to that.
But you weren't there at that meeting when they were there because when they first went.
No.
You weren't there.
This was all the guys from PA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we went there, we waited on Teddy, and he finally called us into this room called the Live Room, which was like, there's, it's a room that just had like nothing really in it, but he had a big screen TV in there. He's like, yo, Omar told me about you guys. You guys have been knocking on the door. And
how long was they built up before that meeting though? Like,
I don't know how long the studio had it. It wasn't long because he was just getting settled into like buying the crib out Church Point. You know what I mean? This was all early migration from New York because Omar represented that. They had just got here from New York. You talking about like Posse Deep with Rex Effect and all of that. So it was early stages of Teddy Riley. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, we went in the room and we broke out again in the same record, Look in the Water. And then I think Pharrell kicked the rap for him too. I rapped too. Ted was astounded. You know what I mean? And especially with me, I think because of the R&B root, the church, the gospel, the whole, that whole vibe. So he is just like, look.
And where did the church come in at though?
For me?
Yeah.
I grew up in church, bro. Like,
your whole family? Like,
well, the thing is, the church aspect of my life started because I was adopted at 6 months old. So from 6 months old to adulthood, adolescence, all I knew was church. Like every Sunday, every Wednesday, like I'm testimony service, revival, fried chicken church. You know what I mean? Like to the point where I was there every Wednesday night when people would just get up and sing a song and testify with no music and just talk about the goodness of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like it was embedded in me early.
So when you was rapping right there for Teddy Riley right then, what kind of rap was you saying then? Was
I was singing,
church rap?
No, I was singing Look in the Water.
Yeah, but then you said, you think Pharrell had rap and then you had
No, I didn't rap. No, I didn't rap at that point. No, not at all.
Okay.
Pharrell rapped.
Okay.
That's how he ended up on the Rump Shaker record, showing, that he could rap as well. He's always been an amazing writer.
Yeah.
So, Ted was like, look, I don't know what to do with y'all. Because he sings, you rap. He sings, you rap. Like, all of this is like, I don't know what to do, but you guys are dope. So I'm going to sign you.
So this was before the talent show and all that, the famous talent show pictures and all that.
Oh, yeah. The talent show with Teddy Riley had not happened yet. We had done a talent show at Princess Anne High School, presented by Princess Anne High School, and turned it out.
Gotcha.
And Omar slid through to that, but there was no Teddy Riley talent show at all. Okay? Gotcha. Teddy Riley talent show didn't exist. So we did that, and he's like, I'm gonna sign y'all. So now, obviously, and Omar, you can manage them. So Ted's idea at this point is I'm gonna sign them to Markel's label, which is Funky Mama Records. All right? So that was the first deal.
So he was signing y'all as a group?
Right.
Yeah, as a group.
So y'all signed as a group?
We signed as a group to Teddy Riley. First deal of Virginia.
What did that deal look like?
From kids from Virginia anyway. We got like 10 grand, so we bust that down.
So just you and Pharrell, or you Pharrell,
the whole
Chad?
group.
You Pharrell, Chad?
Yeah, and Shay.
And Shay. And
Shay.
Pretty. Bro, hold on, bro. Hold on.
Well, you gotta, no. Not to discount anything. You gotta understand, because you gotta understand at this point, Pharrell is like, Shay, you gonna rap. Shay, you gonna rap. And Shay like, man, I don't wanna rap. He like, what else you gonna do? I'll write them for you. So he became like a pusher of Shay, like, you're gonna be in this group. You gonna get this money.
Yeah, it was his man.
Dang.
Yeah, that was his man.
That's real.
Yeah, so he did that for him. And so we bust that down together, you know what I mean? We coming to school fly, you know what I mean? We
y'all still going to school?
Yeah, I'm in high school. I'm in high school right now. Now, what ended up happening was Ted, because Ted really took a liking to me. So that deal that I'm talking about was actually signed in my parents' garage.
Wow.
Shay's mom had to be there. My parents had to be there. Pharrell and Chad were the only ones who didn't need parental consent. So once we signed that deal, we got the money. That's when Pharrell started going to the studio at night, really working over there. That's how Rump Shaker was birthed and all of that. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, we just sitting around waiting for this Building Children thing to happen. So when the talent show happens, okay, when the Teddy Riley talent show happens and you hear about people saying they performed there and, they were a part of it, we want a part of that crew. I'm sitting with Tony Thompson from High Five at the talent show. I'm already like thinking in my mind, oh my God, I can't, because Tony Thompson from High Five, I like the way, the kissing game, that was like, man, I idolized that guy.
So that was out already?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, so me and him, we kicked it. I'm sitting there with him at the talent show. If you look at the Future Records talent show program, which I posted and have as a part of my package for the Master Plan Collector CD on GNextLifeShopify.com. The program says the building children on it as future. We're listed as Future Records artists. We're not listed as performers there that night. Yeah, and I'm 15.
Wow. So hold on. All right. So now when the rump shaker stuff and all still going on, don't that that overshadows everything you got going on?
What, the Neptunes? Or what, the Building Children? Oh no, the Building Children were, like I said, remember, we were signed to Markel's label. So it was Teddy's like, look, just put them over here for now. Markel, they'll be your group, that'll help your label, kind of thing. He didn't really know what to do. But obviously, as Pharrell starts to hang around more, that's how that opened up the rump shaker door.
So do you think Pharrell got a chance to really like get like more closer to Teddy Riley than you? And that might have happened, like, you know what I mean? And, or it was just a simple fact of Pharrell had so many different elements.
No, I think that he was more in the mix in the beginning because, again, I'm 15. So my dad, like, you getting locked out this house if you ain't in here by a certain time. My dad was not. My parents were no drinking.
His pops used to pull up. Mike's got to go to bed early.
Yeah,
that's how you talk.
Yeah, my
that
pops
sound mean.
No, my pops was just they were really spiritual and religious. My dad was the first person to graduate in his family from college. My dad was in Vietnam, so when he came home, he took that grant, went to school, became an accountant. You know what I'm saying? Got a job at the Department of Defense. So my pops was making 60, 70 then, back then. You know what I'm saying? So we lived in an all-white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the only black kid. You know what I'm saying? So they were like the type of people that crime, anything wrong, we ain't with all that.
Right.
We gonna work hard, we gonna build something, and that's it. Like, you gonna live your life right. And that ain't right over there. I don't know what they doing in that studio kind of thing. You know what I mean? We're not having that. We've invested too much God in you for this.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for that. It wasn't mean and or anything, man. It's just who he was, which I thank God for him. You know what I'm saying? And the person that my father was to me.
Yeah. So when you doing all of that, right?
Yeah.
Because as I know, going to Pretty Tony, it became, with K. K was the guy who was
okay.
If y'all didn't catch the story, the interview with me and Pretty Tony, when he went to New York and all this stuff happened to Pretty Tony, he was with a guy named Kevin.
Yeah, my brother.
How did all that intertwine? How did you meet K?
I have to. Well, let me go back just a little, before the K, because see what happened. Obviously because my parents were that way, and I was a rebel.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
When I met Pretty, right at 15, first time smoking weed. Blame Pretty.
So you got that deal. So when you got that deal at 16.
Yeah, 15.
You already knew Pretty and all that. K was around then.
No, that's what I'm getting to.
Gotcha. Okay.
So me and Pretty, started hanging at that point. Now this is what happened because I was having friction at home. Because my parents were like totally against, well, not my parents. My mom, she was, she's from Norfolk. She was a little more, you know what I mean? But my pops from Virginia Beach, straight and narrow. His father, like, they just had a certain system.
You know the difference, Virginia Beach and Norfolk.
So he's like, so me and him had a lot of friction because I wanted to be at the studio. Like, what is wrong with you? This is, you know what I mean? So Ted really took a liking to me. So he's like, Mike, look, this is what we gonna do. You go in this, you can have this apartment over here. We're gonna pay for it, take care of your everything. Don't worry about it. You can move out. So he got me an apartment across the street from the studio. So in my senior year of high school, I had my own place. You know what I'm saying? So that made it like, that's where everybody started hanging out then. But this is coming from Ted. This is Ted's spot. I ain't paying a dime. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just in there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He gave me that spot. Like, look, you got this. So that's how. And living there, then he moved us to Columbus Station, which was me and Shay.
Did you have a crib before Tammy Lucas?
I'm not sure if Tammy had, I think Tammy already had her spot. But my spot, he moved me and Shay again to Columbus Station. And that's when Pretty connected. Now, let me give you the layout of that. Because Omar Chandler, go back to him, started working for a record company. in Virginia Beach with some OGs, street dudes.
Real record company?
Yeah, these guys street dudes. K's OGs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no name because I ain't talked to them about that first. But they had a record company. You know what I'm saying? And because they had a record company and they was in the streets heavy, you know, they was getting real money. So Omar worked for them, and they like, okay, Omar, you gonna help us set up this record company. Everybody saw music as a way out. Mm-hmm. So and Omar still had that relationship. Even Omar was kind of like salty at us because his narrative, which was true to some extent, but not really, was that Ted stole us. Mm. So, you know what I mean? But Pretty still had that relationship with him. So Pretty was hanging with Omar. Omar gets with these guys that have this record company, and they had an office off of Independence Boulevard, okay? That record company is how I started coming around, because now K is a young dude up under these OGs hustling. Mm-hmm. So him and Pretty develop a relationship. And then Pretty says, I know this guy Mike, you know what I mean? So that's how me and K, now K coming to my apartment out Columbus Station, me and Chris, now that integrates into my world, this is the first, you know, integration that I've been into of the real streets. Like, I'm smoking weed, going to Reservoir, you know, I love a little something, but not like this. And so K Pretty's like, yo, my man K Mike, I done met somebody. He a young dude, but he getting real money. You know what I'm saying? So when he brought me to K, we all just started hanging out. And one day Pretty was like, we coming to pick you up, man. We come pick you up. And K had a rental car. Never forget it. Mm-hmm. He had like a Taurus or something. Came pick me up from the crib. We hanging out. And I'm just like, wow, you know, he's buying stuff and, you know, spending money, pocket full of money, crazy. So I'm like, cool, this dude getting money or whatever, but I don't really understand everything yet. Mm-hmm. So then he like, look, I'm gonna come pick y'all up tomorrow. My car be ready.
You ain't Pretty?
Yeah, I'm gonna come pick you up tomorrow, Mike. So him and Pretty come, we on our way, Mike. Pretty calls me, right? They pull up. He got this big long, I've never seen, you know, I don't know. All I know is my parents, regular cars, we just making it. He coming with the cream Q45.
Remember that joint used to come.
I mean, it was so crazy. And then he got the stock phone in there. And so I come outside and I'm like, wait a minute. This ain't your car. That rental car we was in yesterday is your car. Mm-hmm. He like, nah, man, get in. You know, we good. And my mom is like, who is that, Michael? Out there with that big, pretty car. I said, this is my friend. You know what I'm saying?
I was on the corner, out North Ridge. Yeah. I'm like 16, because he was older than me. He was a year older than me. Okay. I thought I was older than him, but he was older than me, and he used to fly through North Ridge. And I used to be like, dang, what the fuck? And he used to come through in the rental cars. That see him come through with the Qs and the MPVs and all that.
The Q was
that
first.
Is getting it. And then, because he was messing with Mika.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I realized when you said, you know, came to you and you was like, you're fucking with him. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that relationship developed. He picked us up, and then he took us over to that record company where his OGs was at. So I met the crew now. I meet the North. This is my introduction to the Tidewater Park crew, I'ma call them. You know what I'm saying? The guys that was around.
Is the Peter and them?
Nah. These Norfolk guys.
He ain't know Peter and them.
I knew of him, but Peter was always like K's competition. So he was on the other side with Apache and all that. You know what I mean?
So
Mr.
crazy,
Magic
man.
Days.
I'm literally on the corner, right? Hearing all these names in Norfolk and stuff. I guess I used to hear it from you, I think. But now I'm saying, like, how do I even know all this stuff? But it was him keeping me in tune with the,
because he was right
the
there
Englishes and the Apaches and the, you know what I'm saying, all them kind of guys.
So at that point now, you know, I'm meeting these guys. Now, K had an apartment adjacent to because like I said, the OGs had the record company studio /studio over there. This is how I met Bink as well, because Bink is tight with them.
Bink dog.
Norfolk crew, right? Okay. So, and K also was like, you know, cool with Bink. You know what I'm saying? So I would go over to Bink's house, work on music. He became a part of what we was doing as well. But at that time, K had an apartment adjacent to the offices of this crew. And he was, you know, getting his work from them as well. So when I went to his crib, and now mind you, Biggie had came out with the, money green leather sofa, like in the rhymes. I walk in the crib, money green leather sofa, big screen. And I'm like, hold on, man. You got the car. I mean, what's going on? And then I'm seeing like trash bags full of weed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nothing like that. And then I'm seeing like, wait a minute, what's this white on the table? So he got all like, he probably got like a couple keys, but they're like already cooked because he was getting his work already cooked at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hold on, what is this?
So he wasn't going to New York at the time?
Nah, he was getting the work from this circle. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
friend record company them dudes.
Right.
Got you.
I'm like, what is this? This is a new world to me. So I'm like, I'm just soaking it in and seeing it. But that's how the relationship started with K. You know what I mean? And that's when I realized, like, okay, this guy's different. He's not like anybody that I know.
So he never tried to hop into the music? He never said, man, I'm going to be your manager in that like?
At this point, of course. Me and him got cool. It became now he come and pick just me up a lot of time. Just me and him. Like, we developed a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna give our lives for each other type of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, he was like that. You know what I mean? Like, and K was also like, he was about that act. Like, he was ready to do whatever. He kept 2 guns on him at all times. Like, he didn't mind. He was not only a hustler, he was
some Russian Rugers.
Yeah, he was also deadly. Because this is what you gotta understand. He was traumatized.
Why?
Because he killed his brother by accident. Okay? He was playing with guns. He was always playing with guns. And he shot his brother. He shot through the wall playing around. And he killed his brother. This is before he knew me.
So the bullet went through the wall?
Yeah. Killed his brother. They go in the kitchen. Brother bent over in a bowl of cereal.
Damn.
Cops
how
come.
old was his brother?
His brother was older than him.
Damn.
Cops come. He got 9 ounces under the house because he was already getting hit by the Jamaicans as a kid. Damn. So then he had to go do the time. Came home. And then, you know what I mean? Progression of life. So that's how I meet him.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at that point now, me and him developed this relationship. Now, mind you, the Neptunes are starting to move into the more of the production world.
So with the thing that y'all signed, the deals y'all signed, right? Did another deal come behind that with Pharrell and them by themselves?
No. They actually,
Mike got it.
Well, hold on, before we get into that. That deal fizzled out.
Which one? The
Funky Mama deal with Markel.
Markel, okay.
You know what I mean? There's a guy, shout out to Chris Washington. He helped us a lot through that. But it just became murky. Because now you got the Rump Shaker record out. Pharrell done wrote it. He ain't getting no money from it. There's a lot going on. Okay? So at that point, it's like, we ain't rocking with them no more over there at Future Records. So now, I got to roll with that. It's my, you know what I mean? These my guys. So, but Ted and I still had that love for me. Even though they weren't rocking no more. And then I started to see them more going to the production level. And I didn't want to like, okay, y'all guys, man, y'all dope with them beats. I don't fit into that. Like, I don't fit into that equation. Do your thing. But K, of course, is like, Mike, I got you. I'm going to invest in you. And you help me build something out of music so I can get out the streets. That's what it was with us.
But that's on just an independent type thing. Or is y'all talking to Ted? Is y'all talking to Ted?
Well, this is how it started. I'll get to that. It started with, because me and Shaq was still working together. I started writing my own songs at this point now because I'm not going...
Oh, yeah, because you said Pharrell was writing your song.
Yeah, I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I got to eat. I got to continue to funnel my dream. And I was always a writer. I just, Pharrell was just a big brother guy who was, older. So K is like, I said, look, you start K Management. You gonna manage me. And he like, I'm gonna put the bread up for whatever you need, Mike. Don't worry about it. Whatever you need, I got you. So we just developed that rolling together every day. So I really literally started living with him at his crib in Virginia Beach. Because he was getting, he started getting more money. So obviously he bought another crib, moved out of the apartment. Now we got a condo in Virginia Beach. So, and this is when he starts to now decide we got to go and expand. We can't get to work from here no more. It's cut. I need my own, my own thing. You know what I mean? So that's how that was birthed. But the vision was never necessarily Teddy. It was we're going to do our own thing. So we did photo shoots. Back then they had catalog books where you look up record companies. So I created a demo. He said, look, Chad, I'm going to give you the bread.
This K.
I'm going to give you the bread. How much you want for a couple of records to do work with Mike? Chad, like, I forgot what it was. I think he might have gave Chad $1,500 or something. You know what I mean? Cash. And then me and Chad just kept working. Then he like, look, I'm going to pay for y'all to go in the studio, Chad. What studio should we go in? Let's go to Master Sounds. The studio they end up buying later. But Rob Olsh was the owner of that studio.
Rob still owning that, don't he?
Well, I don't know. The Neptunes had bought it at one point. But I know me and Chad was in there before any of that and started working on this project, okay? The Mike E project. Went in there and recorded a couple of records, and now I got a demo.
But so this don't got nothing to do with Ted?
Nothing.
You're not even going to the studio?
No.
Nah, this K money.
So Pharrell and Chad is still with Ted?
No. Nobody's with Ted because, again, like I said, Pharrell and Teddy had fizzled out due to, like I said, some business discrepancies with Rump Shaker, where, you know, even the pastor got involved with that. You know what I'm saying? To try to fix it, but it just didn't work, whatever. Pharrell wrote that whole Yiggity Yes, Sis Teddy. Oh, that's him. That's Pharrell. The whole rhyme. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting no money.
Who did the beat?
Oh, that's Teddy.
Teddy did
Yeah, that's Teddy. And of course, Markel and Akil wrote their own verses or whatever. Another brother I think may have been involved in this.
Pharrell just did Ted verse.
That's it. He wrote that. And and then all I want to do is zoom, zoom, and get poom. That's Pharrell.
So he wrote, that's the hook, ain't it? Oh, that's the hook.
Yeah, because we used to say that. That was a saying that we had. Like,
so it's crazy because it's like this big thing of, you know, always saying how Ted jerked Pharrell, but I don't see how he jerked him if everybody did their own shit and he just wrote the verse. You know what I'm saying? Like how much
he wrote the hook though. All I want to do is do my zoom. And I'm not saying he jerked him. Yeah, what I am saying is, though, if you see a kid with this gift, he don't know nothing about publishing. You understand what I'm saying?
That's his problem.
Right. So I don't think it was like...
That's what I mean.
I'm not saying...
You know what I mean?
Devil's advocate.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Why?
Because I feel like, you know, you could have probably took him under your wing and it would have been even better for you long term. But it worked out the way it was supposed to.
I'm going to get a scenario, right? It's like with football, basketball, baseball, kind of stuff that they do with contracts. Each position got a certain range of average of how much a contract should be for each player, right? For those who don't know that. Now, when a player come and he's arguing to try to set the bar for a new price to gauge what a quarterback should get, a running back should get, and all that, and you got some that's like go from, you know what I mean? You got some players at the bottom, then some in the medium, you know what I mean?
It's tiers.
It's tiers, you know what I'm saying? But it's actually, they set the market, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to
just
say...
Just coming in the game, I got you.
Coming in the game. So I say that to say you can't think you're just a new artist, regardless of what you think you're going to become and you do this, you got to start with, you can't just jump and set the bar at what it is. You got to set the bar at what you're worth right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know.
Right.
So that's why I say I agree with, I'm not going to come and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to give you all your public, like, that don't.
That's not the way the business works.
Because the machine got to kick in. It got to do, like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas need money, niggas got to do that. We can't just give you all that and we sitting back. Because we got to make this thing work.
It may be business,
so, you know what I'm saying?
It may be business, right? But if ethically may not be. So there's two different things.
So that's why I say, that's why when it all changed, when a guy like Soulja Boy came in and did all that to show, yo, you know what? I'm going to make you come to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I always believe in that right there. Because now, like I told you earlier, we got a whole new conversation now.
Right.
So now I'm going to tell you how much you're going to give me.
Your value is, you're worth your value. You created value.
Because you going back to what I was just saying about the football and basketball stuff, you're setting the bar, you're setting the market. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I just don't always agree with somebody say, oh, Screw's contract, oh, he jerked me and this and that. Nah. No, you jerk yourself. You know what I mean? You got to know to say XYZ and then try to explain your case on
and
what
then
you
too,
work.
you got to remember, like, this is the thing too, just, you know, there was always, Pharrell was like very competitive. And I think he knew early on what he had. as far as his gift.
Yeah, he already knew what he already knew what he was worth.
Yeah, so he's like, so he didn't really care. He's like, nah.
Gotcha.
And I think he was a very forward thinker.
Absolutely.
So he could see beyond New Jack Swing. He could see beyond Teddy Riley. Like, you know what I mean? So I give him that. And I think that, you know, that helped him in the end, man. But that situation happened. But getting back to K, K and I was sending out those demos everywhere. We had an offer from a record company in New York, you know, everything, because I wrote the bio up. Like, it was already like we were doing the business. But one day, I was just like, you know what, man? Let's just take the demo to Ted, man.
So you backtrack.
Because you got to remember, Ted was like, this is the thing with me and Ted. Ted was like, Mike, look, all I need you to do is wait until I get this deal with Interscope. I know you're going through right now. You out here. You don't know what's going on. You don't.
So you was talking to him. You at least had communication.
This was
with
out.
him
Yeah. This was as, you know, before I kind of like stopped the communication, or it slowed up. It wasn't as much because I wasn't coming around as much. It was never like, oh, I ain't rocking with you no more kind of conversation. No, not between me and Teddy. You know what I'm saying? I respected him too much, no matter what him and Pharrell had went through. So, you know, when I got the demo done, I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. Why not? Let's try it. And he still hadn't got the deal yet. But I was like, you know, so we went to him, and me and Kay went up there, and I introduced Kay to Teddy. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, Teddy saw something in Kay too that he wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? Coming from New York, and he understood now who I have in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Now it makes sense. Because now it makes sense when you said when you was in the hospital and Ted called you. But he had called and said he had went to K's funeral. Because I'm trying to figure out, how the hell he know K? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? How do Ted, why is Ted at a nigga from the street was Ted from the street?
Man, they were worried.
You know
they were like just praying that Mike was not in that car. You know what I mean? Because everybody knew I was taking trips. Like,
what you mean? Taking what trips?
To New York.
He used to be in that.
Taking trips to New York for the record company?
No. Taking trips to New York to get them keys.
Oh, you was in there getting...
Oh,
for real?
I told you.
Him and K was became real.
Wait a
like,
minute.
Like,
I thought you told me I thought you was churchy.
Hey, you know what? Now, let me just.
I thought you won't fly straight.
No. I have to say this. Now, I gotta say this because I think this is important before we go into too much of the street things. But I think it's important to say I was adopted at 6 months old.
Right.
The blessing in my life was about 5 years ago. I met my maternal mother.
Congratulations.
I found her. She's from P-Town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to you, Mom. And we still right now rocking. You know what I'm saying?
G is crispy back there.
So my mother, and the only reason I want to pause right here and put a pin is because nobody could understand why Mike wants to hang with drug dealers. Why is Mike this way? You've been raised this way all your life. All you know is God, church, singing in the choir. I had done a gospel lead record with my church, a live recording. Why are you living this life? But I found out later, you know what I'm saying, my DNA was like crazy. And simply because, you know, like my mom, when she told me who my dad was, my birth father, then it made sense like why I was prone to these things. My dad was, his name is Linwood Taylor. You know what I'm saying? He's from Portsmouth. If you look him up, you'll see like he was at 15, he caught his first shooting into heroin. You know, like when he was 50, like he was in his 50s when he got caught last, over $300,000 heroin prep. Like he was a street dude. So the whole time, like I'm always developing these relationships with street guys, from Shampoo to K to whoever it was. I felt comfortable in that world. And I didn't understand why. You know what I mean? Like I really felt more comfortable here. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that went. And then, you know, we're a team. Yeah. So if I'm playing my role, I'm playing my role. We riding. You know what I'm saying?
So being in the church and going on trips, right?
Yeah.
Because like I say,
now when you say being in the church, you got to remember I was no longer in the church at this point. I ain't going to church. Like the church is in the rear view in my mind.
Gotcha.
Although the word of God is in me, like I'm not active anymore.
You full-fledged trying to get this record deal, and you know you need the money to fuel it, and this is what K doing.
Yeah, we in the streets.
So you came back on a couple of them trips with with that Yola up in the.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, I was the see the thing is, K didn't trust nobody, but he trusts me. You know, I represented that safety for him. Like he ain't gonna trust guys that might have been moving to work for him to be around like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the crib with the money, everything. I know where everything is at. You know what I mean? Like so, we would load up from the crib. Like the first trip. The first trip was on a humbug of we just going to New York. Me, you, and Chris. We going to get some work. I got like 80. We just gonna go up there and see what we can get.
Yeah, and that's Chris
Barber.
Okay, yeah, Chris.
Yeah, my guy.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, man. The first trip we even took, bro, was like just to Spanish Harlem. You know what I'm saying? With nobody, no plug. We ain't know nobody, nothing. And back then, they would flag your car down. Poppy, the Spanish guys.
The
they offer to take your ID. And they kept telling K, like, yo, just give us your ID, you can take what they see the Virginia tags. Mm-hmm. So that's how that went.
Poppy, I do for you, Poppy. Do about the grizzly.
Yeah, and he was successful with that first trip with just a random person out there.
And it's so crazy because like I knew he was doing that and all that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was just coming up off the block, right?
Right.
When I met K. And then when K passed, that's how I got mine.
Right.
First, I started going to the same block.
Ooh.
And that's how I got my connect.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Dude named Eddie.
Yeah. Now I will say, eventually there was it got better because I think he did talk about it on the Connect podcast, the Gangstar connection and all of that. Because we had Lil Dap and them come down for a show. And K got cool with Lil Dap and them. Matter of fact, yeah. So
you ain't going into really too much detail in it though. Who was Lil Dap? He kept saying Lil Dap.
That
like,
was
what is Lil Dap?
Group.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's Gangstar the group.
Group Home. You
what was the name of the song?
Out.
Superstar. Superstar was the name of the record.
Group Home.
Oh, yeah.
I remember. It wasn't huge, but it was like a street hip hop thing. Yeah.
I remember that.
Took into Lil Dap and I said for K.
Yeah, so K and them, we got with Lil Dap and them, and then that's how we met Guru. But Lil Dap, it wasn't even Guru. Guru ain't had nothing to do with really, you know what I'm saying? It was Lil Dap and them who plugged K now with some official plugs in New York. You know what I'm saying? There's one guy that owned a car lot named G. Then we had another dude.
What happened to the other dudes then?
Who?
The first dudes, the Jamaicans or whoever who was supplying K. The one you say he stopped fucking with them because it was cut and all that stuff?
Well, that was the Norfolk crew guys, his OGs.
Okay, yeah, so he stopped messing with them though.
Because it was mostly being given to him already prepared.
Gotcha. Okay,
where he wanted to make his own work.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, and it just evolved. The first trip we took before the other guy, I remember him coming, he's like, look, y'all wait here, because the dude was like, come on. Took him somewhere. He was like, man, I just came on. K, man, I just went on that warehouse. There were keys everywhere, Chris. he was hype. You know what I mean? So, and from there, like I said, then the Gangstar Connect came. And that guy, was a little more consistent. It was a little more of a schedule. You know what I mean? But there were younger underlings around who saw that K is now with our plug. You understand? Spanish guys. You know what I mean? That he, was involved as well. So, but he just started running it up from there because the work was so good. And now the OG, because K don't know how to cook. So now the OG got to show him. He calls the OG. That's the thing. He still kept the relationship with the OG. It wasn't like, it was still family. It was still crew. You just now you doing like a person that's been brought up in the rank supposed to do. You doing your own thing, but we still, it's all love. So they was helping him learn how to things, and that's how he learned, you know what I mean? And then a nicer tall, he showed him how to do that and make it more and different things like that. But the thing was, I don't know how it is now or whatever, but how it was with, when you were getting from Mexican cartel with the 50s and things of that. But with this, like getting, 7-8 bricks or whatever at a time, it was always more in there, in the brick. So by the time he busts everything open, he gonna have like an extra 9 ounces. So he was like, I got all this and I got this. And, so things started to just move from there.
So the question is, you went on all them trips,
all
right?
Them trips.
Yeah. The trip that K didn't make it back on with Pretty.
Yeah.
And God forbid, we glad that you won't
That's important.
In the truck, but
what happened?
Why weren't you on that trip there?
That's important.
Or was you supposed to even go on that trip? Or like
this is important. Remember this. Remember I said Ted didn't have his Interscope deal yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But Ted was real with us. When he said, I'm going to take care of you, Mike. Okay, y'all going to eat. Don't worry about it. When I get this deal with Interscope, he was serious. And I would say a week to 2 weeks before the trip. Because K ended up, I got the contracts. So we use a lawyer. K paid for my lawyer. He paid for everything. For the contracts to be reviewed, make sure it was what we wanted. You know, it was a $50,000 advance for me in there, $500,000 deal, and $1,000 a week thereafter for me, in addition to the 50. So, you know, it was like, yeah, let's. Now you got to remember, this is all based on, this is the Black Street movement at this point. This ain't Guy. You know, Ted getting real money now. You know, Jimmy Iovine is like funding them. So Ted made sure he kept his word with me and K. You know what I'm saying? He gave me the deal. This was 2 weeks before the last trip. And I had made a promise. I had made a vow to God. I said, look, if this deal comes through, I'm not going on no more trips, Lord. If you bless me with this music the way I mean, why would I continue to do that when you didn't made a way? So, you know, that's what I said to God. So once I got the deal, you know what I'm saying? I mean, to the point where it was down to the point that I hadn't even gotten the check yet for the 50. But the deal was signed. And K was like, man, here go an extra $5,000. Just hold that. Put it in your pocket. When you get your money, then you know what I'm saying, you're good. But right now, and I said, oh, okay, thank you, brother.
So did you ever, was you and Pretty ever in the truck at any particular time?
Yes. Me and Pretty did take like 1 or 2 trips together.
So you...
Because Pretty, this is what you got to rip. Most of the trips were, sometimes K would go by himself, bro, and come back.
Yeah.
With all the work. Or take a chick with him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember times when I was waiting and he was like, yeah, Katie's with it, and he with me. And I'm still...
Yeah. And
waiting.
Chris was another one. You know, that was his right-hand man.
Yeah.
Chris was his right-hand man. So... You know, sometimes it would just be him and Chris, and I'd be here. You know, but there were times I went. But what I'm saying is, this particular time, interesting story, I said I wasn't going to go. So what happened was there was a drought in Virginia, okay? And K had, you know, he was like, man, I got to get some work, bro. My team's starving, da-da-da-da. There's a kid in New York who was around when he first started getting with plugs, little young boy, like 17 years old. You know what I mean? But K was messing with his sister. And this kid now starts calling the house during the drought every day. Like, yo, they got him. Look, K, I can get you 15. Just come. And we got him. And K like, man, he calling the plug telling him, nah, just wait, bro. Ain't nothing right now. You don't need to come to New York. You know what I'm saying? But this kid who was the introduction, was the introduction to the plug, keeps calling. So, you know, I mean, obviously, when you're getting that kind of money to rush, you're kind of blinded by a lot of things. So, he just K like, man, if I get them things back, I'm going to spend everything I got up there.
So it's crazy, right? So repeat this. So the whole time you into God, right? Still, right?
Yeah.
And God is saving you and not taking you, right? And not putting you on that trip. And then he playing with God.
And I think this is the first time he prayed.
First time he prayed and all that stuff. But then God takes him on the trip.
Well, this is what you got to realize.
That's why I'm listening to him now. Like,
yeah, but you know,
that's what's going through my head.
And then he's getting the whole information beforehand on saying, I'm thinking that, yo, this probably ain't a good idea, but really ain't seeing it. But then he going through it with the guy, taking them to each different spots and all that when they're trying to set y'all up. So it's like the whole time, the whole setup from you hearing the setup and you getting involved in the setup.
And seeing the setup.
Like, that shit is like...
And one of the things that was also the deciding factor, because Chris didn't go on that trip either, which was weird.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
The first thing the dude said was...
Yeah, Chris is his brother.
What Chris said, because he felt like he had to get everybody.
Yeah, so we were, I think it was like 100, over 100 or something. It might have been close to even 150, I'm not sure, grand. So we were putting the money, we were helping K get the money into the door panels of the MPV to take.
For that trip.
For that trip.
Gotcha.
Okay? Now, but there's so much money because he's never taken this amount before, this much.
And you already knew you was going?
Mm-hmm.
So you already knew you was going on that trip, and you already knew that he wasn't going.
I didn't know they weren't going until we went.
Well, he didn't know he was
going.
going.
Chris was going too. So you thought everybody was going.
Yeah.
He knew he was going, but it was only. Look, this is what happened. When that money being put in them door panels, we was like, hold on, we can't even close these joints, bro. Chris like, nah, man. And Chris is not a spiritual person, but he's like, nah, man, something don't feel right, Kay. We don't need to be doing this, man. Can't you? It's a sign. Just wait. And Kay like, man, no, man, I got to get this money. So the door panels are literally bulging with bread at this point. And I said, well, you already know my stance, guys. I already said if the Lord, I ain't going. Because I made a vow to God. I don't care what's going on. And Chris is like, I ain't going either. And Kay, like, at this point, he now is really upset. Because Chris isn't going. Like, pissed. Like, going off. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really go off on me because he didn't really want me in that anyway. But it was more so Chris, like, bro, I can't believe everything. You know what I mean?
But then also, like I said, it's all like coming in. Yeah. Then somebody supposed to have like a birthday party or something. That's why.
No, it was Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Well, actually, it was. I want to say it was something like college weekend or Memorial Day.
He had his car in the shop. He didn't even get this.
It was getting painted or something.
Yeah, it was
he was gonna get it out when we came back.
Yeah, the coupe. I remember that. The coupe was getting painted. We had took it to High Dust, picked the color and all that. Had the BBs done, the whole nine. So it would be ready when he got back. You know what I'm saying? But at this point now, he's really pissed at Chris. Man, I'm gonna get me some real nigga. Pretty gonna go with me. Oh, Tony Crumble. Yeah, so he hits him, and he's going. All right. So. He didn't fuss Chris out and all that, but me and Chris then went and we having pizza somewhere. They getting ready for the trip. We at the pizza shop, right? Chris phone ring. Where y'all at, man? Oh, me and Mike up here eating pizza by the house. I'm on my way up there. Give me a second. Every time I talk about this. He came to the pizza shop, right? And he's like, yo, I love y'all. Y'all my brothers, man.
He said that before the trip.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I talked to you like that. Yeah.
You was in the car when you went there?
Yeah, he was with him at the pizza shop. Pretty was there that day. Yeah. Yeah. He apologized to Chris and everything. And
but y'all still won't go. Niggas still like
no, still won't go.
Still won't go.
But that was the last time.
You know, the last time you talked to him and all that.
Seen him alive.
Damn.
Yeah. My bad, man.
But you know, no, that's deep, man. Because it's crazy. Because like when Pretty was talking about it on the Connect, and I'm sitting there watching it, and Pretty started talking about how he was shot up in the hospital and all that.
Yeah.
I literally started crying. Yeah. And I'm sitting there with my man them in the car watching it. And I started wiping my eyes, right? Because when you live something, because I lived it with him. You know what I mean? I lived it with you. Like, I seen your face. I seen how you look. I seen what was going on. Like, you know what I mean? So when you was talking about it, I'm like, damn.
Appreciate that, man.
You know, I was there.
But Kay.
But it's crazy because
every time I tell that story.
Because since then, the guy, Chris, who was his like right hand man, in the streets, he ended up catching 2 federal bids, three federal bids.
Yeah, he did. This is his third one. He's
third one, and he's in there right now. So he ended up still going on to the life of crime,
even deeper levels
and
higher levels.
And it's so crazy because when he first started, when Kay had passed, he was it won't have, you know what I mean? But he was, you know, because I remember when he went and did the Fed.
Yeah.
And then
I think that was the heroin at first.
Yeah.
He tried to move in that to that.
And then he came home. And when he came home, he was home, and that's when right before I had failed. I had failed, and when I failed, he ended up getting a Connect and taking off to the point that the people came to me and asked me about him and another guy from my neighborhood, Mac. And He'll tell you I couldn't do them. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna do them. I wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they asked me about them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, I don't know nothing that nigga doing. You know what I'm saying? But the honest truth, even I did, I won't. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But it was crazy because I had got locked up and I didn't know what he was doing. You know
Chris,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And they was talking about he ended up getting he ended up buying a house of a basketball referee or something, or some kind of big ass house.
I could tell you all about that, but
where he ended up marrying or talking to.
No, what happened was Chris had a house built. Or he had the referee who I won't mention. He's still a referee. Yeah, he was helping Chris because Chris had gotten pretty deep in the game at that point. But this was years later.
Why we can't mention the referee? What the hell he did?
I just don't. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Just because I don't know how people feel about their name being associated with certain things.
Find out who you are, referee.
But he's from. Hey, look, he's from Virginia.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna find you. We need to talk to
you. Chris got on later, but
as far
as
Chris
that,
ended up meeting a chick, Spanish chick, and he ended up
having a baby by one of the cartel members' nieces. It's
you know
crazy.
He
started, but that was later on. That was like literally, because
it was right before
I had changed my life. I was this is even after. This was when you. Yep, you're absolutely right.
I know.
After the fact,
and
after the fact of you.
Yeah,
but you was right after that.
But it's crazy though how all that how he still went on after the fact of his man had passed.
Kay had trained him in that life, man.
But to move forward though, so after Kay passed, and then with the Teddy Riley deal, then. What was next? What was?
That was
when you got the news and you had y'all buried Kay and all that. What was the next thing? What you started to do then?
That was the next thing was I got a deal now. I'm in the studio every day with Chad. Chad got broke off. You know what I'm saying? Chad first check. That was $50,000 as well.
So what was Pharrell doing?
At this point, they're just still working together, figuring it out.
Him and Ted.
No, him and Chad.
So him and Chad is figuring it out.
Yeah.
But Chad is working with you.
Yeah.
And
we rocking.
And you got a new deal.
Yeah.
With Ted.
Yeah.
And Tammy Lucas.
Tammy Lucas is not included in that deal.
Not included in that deal.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So did the first single come out or?
No. She never I don't know. I as far as I know, she was never signed to Lil Man Records, which was the label.
Yeah. No, I'm saying far as did your project, did your first single come out?
Well, here's the story. This is the thing. I'm just, Blackstreet now at this point is going on to sell 7 million records. So I'm like constantly on hold because it's about Blackstreet and Ted is in that group. So they touring, you know what I mean?
So you're on the shelf.
Yeah. I'm like.
But you got people.
I'm getting paid. And that's one thing I do want to say about Teddy Riley. And I think it's important is that.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, he's always been a beautiful soul as far as like giving. You know what I'm saying? Like my experience with him, a lot of people might have had a different experience, but mine was I lived like I was out there like Blackstreet, but never had an album out. You know what I'm saying? He made sure I was taken care of throughout my entire process, the entire process, even down to the point when he lost that deal with Interscope. And things fell apart. Even then, my deal got picked up again by Capitol Records, and we did a whole new other deal and got another almost $400,000.
And you had like 3 deals.
2 deals.
No,
three major. Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's still okay. You had 3 chances.
And then I also, because we met Ted had met an Italian guy who used to work with Jean Bon Jovi, and he was in the industry. So he started working things out. Markel and them hit me like, yo, they want to pick your album up, give you another advance, and we got another $75,000 for you for publishing. I said, what are we talking about here? What's going on? Let's go. And that's how you end up seeing the master plan video come out with Capitol. That's when I actually That's how people all over the world still know me right now.
So hold on. Where the hell all this money go? All I'm seeing is checks on top of checks and checks.
Bro,
like,
listen, I mean,
what would you do,
you
like,
living your life. I mean, a regular person making 25, 30 grand a year, just think about it. How long is that going to last you if you got to pay your bills?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what was you doing, like
living?
what was going on?
Because at this point now,
because you won't hustle, you won't flipping it.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. I'm trying to believe in it and keep going.
You ain't try to get none of that paper from him to try to flip. You should have moved on.
And you got to remember, now you do have to remember.
We used to hang at Mike's crib. Mike, the first one had a car. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
So Mike used to damn near buy an ounce a day of weed.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we was out there.
So that's why I do it.
We were having a good time.
That nigga was about an ounce a day.
But at this point now when that master plan
smoking it up.
When that master plan deal comes.
That's when you was coming to the crib.
Yeah.
No. When the master plan deals come, I'm not even, I'm older now. You know what I'm saying? The young Mike part is over. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. I got a you know what I mean?
Mike E to Mike Etheridge.
Right. Like I'm still in the music industry, but I'm not even associating with most people that I was at this point. Because, Shampoo and I ran for a minute, too, before his death. That was my guy. Like, he became K to me again. You know what I'm saying? So I set up his management company as well before anything.
So, damn.
Yeah.
So what Shampoo had to do with it?
Shampoo came around. You know what I'm saying? He had the money and he was Pretty's cousin. And I like Shampoo. Shampoo was just and he also took
You went to him or Shampoo came to you?
He came to me. He took a liking to me.
Yeah.
He took a liking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Say I can make some money.
And then how can I get some bread and get out these streets? And he was also on that street thing too. Like, you know what I mean? So whatever was going on, I got you. So, but once that ended, that's when I got really, like, I had an experience with God at this point. Now, this goes from me being just in the church to me being filled with the Holy Ghost. To me, actually, the people that I laughed at speaking in tongues and doing all of that, it's me now. You know what I'm saying? Because now God has, like, touched me in a way that, I experienced him now. It's not like I just heard about him in church, just was singing about him. Now it became, like, super real.
Did you know Tim Montgomery?
No.
You know Tim?
No. I knew of him about Shampoo, through Shampoo, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't know him like that. But yeah, so when the second master plan situation came, I was leading Untold. I wasn't a part of that. Matter of fact, I saw you guys at the Grammy party when you came to LA, and then I was already out there promoting with, doing my thing with the master plan project. So you saw how y'all had, that crew was still there, but I wasn't a part of that. It's just me by myself out there. You see what I'm saying? But you were with Pharrell. I would push all of them. Because now y'all, I think Pharrell, Pretty talks about it on The Connect when he first met Lenny Kravitz. I was there.
You was out there with us too?
Yeah, I was with y'all for I first met Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, that was the Grammy party.
They both had
them t-shirts on. Yeah, so like I said, I was now evolving and slowly but surely coming to the realization that this world in music, God is doing something different with me. Because at that point, I just broke down in the car one day. A gospel record came on in the limo. I just left a show. Because I was doing shows with Jagged Edge, Jay Shin, Genuine, all these people, promoting the record. But I knew then, it's just, God has a different plan for me. So I have to accept that. And that's when I started having friction with the label because I wanted to change what I was doing musically. And, the music industry isn't set up for you to talk about God. Like, you're not here for that.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
So this is a question then, when it comes to all that music stuff and from the transition of the 3 record deals, right? And seeing Chad and Pharrell and them go ahead and do, great things and big things, right? How do you look at that? How do you feel like when you see that? I mean, is that a thing of, do you feel, well, I know you can't feel this way, but do you feel slighted in any kind of way? Do you feel like Somebody owe you something?
Nah.
Did you somebody like?
Nah, man, and they'll
feel?
tell you that, like, you know what I mean? Because I was the first one with a deal and experiencing that, I never thought about it like that. Because we all came from the same situation. So their rise to success actually made me like, this is dope. Because even though I wasn't doing, like, even when I had decided, like, okay, I'm going to do a different type of music, it still was inspiring to constantly see guys that you worked with musically achieve these great things. That could never be anything other than good. Because I've seen Pharrell, even with the Louis Vuitton things that he's doing now, I've seen him, you know, when we were kids, looking at Vogue magazines, flipping through Vanity Fair, and we're like, why are you looking at these magazines? Or dressed a certain way in school. This was always a part of our lives. So when I saw that, man, even when we had our conversation, because there was a 10-year period where we didn't even communicate, the first thing he asked me was, why you never reached out to me, man?
Why you never reached out?
Why you never called me? Pharrell.
Yeah, I'm saying, why didn't you never? Why
he
didn't
asked
you never,
me that. And
I'm asking you.
And he asked me, no. He said, were people hating? I was like, no. Nobody
Do you feel?
Nobody was keeping me away from you. I wanted to live my life. That's the thing. Because I experienced all of this, because I was around all of these people, man, at such a young age and experiencing the industry and Ferraris and all of that, man, like,
But keep it 100 though.
Yeah.
But keep it 100. All 100, right? There never was a time that you said or felt like you wanted to say, nigga, why you ain't call me?
Oh, to him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, like, because
No,
that's just me,
no, bro,
like,
I can't.
Because it's like my daughter, right?
Yeah.
Like my youngest daughter, it's her favorite word. And I'd be like, hey, man, why you ain't call me? She'd be like, the phone work both ways. That's her favorite thing. And I can't never get around that right there. Like, yeah, you're right.
It does work both ways. But
So
again, I never saw his success as something to grab the coattails of and try to drag myself over there.
Okay.
I made my decision early what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna live with that and go with whatever direction the Lord is taking me in. That's not my style. And that's what I told him. I was like, nah, man. And because this was during the Happy time. When he had the record Happy out is when we reconnected. And I didn't reach out to him, so I will say that. He reached out to me, so he did. He had a mutual friend, Tammy Lucas, call me. Hey, Pharrell is coming to do Shag Fest. And he wants to talk to you.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a reach out on his end years later. He wants to talk to you and he wants you to, and he said, and I wanted to call you to make sure it was okay to give him your number. I said, of course. There's still that brotherhood there. Even, I'm happy that you have made this record happy and that you are who you are with the hat right now. You know what I'm saying? The hat was a thing. So, and I'm currently doing my own project in gospel music. I've already I've really dug my heels into this is what I'm doing. I'm doing Christian inspirational music. So I'm already creating that. So now I'm like, this couldn't have come at a better time.
So let me ask you.
Because he always told people, man, Mike, he do gospel music, I'm going to help him.
So let me ask you this question though. Like I told you, I'm.
Yeah, ask me whatever you want to ask.
So how do you feel about it when people say, because I used to read comments, all kind of shit like that.
Right.
I like, even when it comes to myself, I don't even read comments no more. Because like I told Pretty, like, you reading comments, you be ready to kill some motherfucker back.
Damn
You know what I
right.
mean? Knowing that that's, you know what I mean? So I came to the point that plus so much going on, I don't get a chance to even go look at a comment. So don't do that, right? And then my ear to the streets and, hearing certain things or whatever. So what do you say to the people that says, like, why do you promote yourself as saying that, you connected, you're one of the first members of the Neptunes and all that, like, for the people, to say you need to go on with your own story without even mentioning them, or why you even mentioning them, like.
You just said something very key. You answered your own question.
Well, I want you to answer it.
How crazy does it sound for you to say you should go on with your own story without mentioning them? When my story is them. My story is the Neptunes. So there's a part of the story that is there. That's the thing. Being an original member of the Neptunes, and there's also being a Teddy Riley protege, that all, that all equals the value of the music that you're going to get from me now. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason I was in the Neptunes. So why wouldn't I talk about my history? I can't speak on his history. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about his life, you know what I mean? And the things that he's accomplished, even though I'm proud of those things for him. But my history not only includes the early Neptunes, now he reinserted himself back in my life when he called me. And then there was a situation that happened after that. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about it all, bro. Like, why would I not? Huh?
What do you mean? You say a situation happened after that.
Well,
so when he called you to reconnect, with y'all, so you went to the Shag Fest?
Yeah. I went to his house. I went to his house in Sandbridge or wherever that's at. And his team was there. Mimi Valdez or whoever, a lot of women. And I said, he said, Mike, we just got together. He asked me to come over and have some food with them. His pops was out there cooking the steaks and everything. We just had a great time. And he was like, we talked for like 6 hours. That was the thing. It was like it was like almost like we picked up where we left off as guys that were just doing music.
That's always be the case. Like,
yeah. And so what he said to me was, hey, because I had started doing my gospel music thing at this point. So everybody knew that. I was putting out music. I had a song called Faithful. I was going to put out It's Gonna Be All Right.
You were putting it out where?
Just online.
Okay.
And myself, independently. And he says to me, hey, Mike, I want to help you with your gospel career. I'm going to call the record labels for you. Whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it. Now, at that moment, I'm so excited because I'm like, oh my God, this is really going to work for me now. Because it's not just me doing gospel music randomly or Christian music, and it's going to be different and innovative. He's the perfect person for this to help me. So I was really excited. This is my man. Like, it ain't nothing. So, and even at Shag Fest during that particular, after that conversation, he did Shag Fest the next day. Give it up for my man, Mike, the original Neptunes with me and Chad. This is on stage at Shag Fest in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So it ain't me just out here like, hey, I was a Neptune. No, even on my page, you go there right now, you'll see him saying it in an interview with Nardwar. Okay? It's not me saying this. This is known knowledge, but he's also said it and made it clear to the public that this guy, Mike Etheridge, was a part of the Neptunes. So why wouldn't I, to answer your other question again, include that in my story? But anyway, so shortly after that, it even got to the point where, because Shaggy and I developed a relationship based on, Pharrell plugging me with that. So I'm getting ready to do Shag Fest now. Now, mind you, in the interim of all of this is, at this point, No Malice is becoming No Malice. He's No Malice now. He gets saved and find the Lord. So he reaches out to me as well, and we develop a relationship at this point. So me and him and I like talking every day, just developing that brotherhood. Now, going back to the other situation, it wasn't until I put out this record called It's Gonna Be All Right. When I put that record out, everything's gonna be all right. Don't call it a mystery. My song wasn't saying that. My song was, everything's gonna be all right. And I had produced it because I took it from the Carlton Banks sample. But I took it and inverted it into church because church counts on the and. Most songs might be like 1, 2, 3, but church it's 1 and 2. And so I took that feel and I put it into this record. There was a lot going on in the city. I wanted to make something positive. So that's what I did. Okay, I did a video, the whole 9 yards. It started getting like, back then, organic was the thing with Facebook and things. So you're looking at now 10, 20,000 views. Who is this? What's going on with this record? It's going to be all right. Yeah, I'm talking to the nation. There's a lot of frustration all over the nation. That's how the record went. So that record picks up steam. Me and him have this relationship because we talked. I get a phone call. Yo, that It's Gonna Be All Right record. I love that. This is Pharrell calling me. I love this record. Man, that's the one. I'm gonna do a remix for that record. And you on from there. I'm like, yeah. I was so excited. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I'm really excited. Coming off of Happy, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna win. He was like, yo, send me the record, and we started getting deep into the conversations about the record. He's like, send me the record to my engineer. And I knew the guy he wanted me to send it to, which has been an engineer for years. So, you know.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah, send me the
Hey,
well, I don't know if he's still there now, but he was there then.
Yes.
So I was like, no problem. I got you. I'm gonna send you the record. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited that you're gonna do this for me. You don't have to do this, bro. Like you're Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, send me the stems, everything. I'm like, cool.
What is stems?
Basically every track in that I've created with that song. Production, vocal, everything.
He's doing a remix for you.
Right, he's doing a remix for me. I'm gonna win. I'm excited. I'm gonna win for God. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove everybody that God can do this. You know what I'm saying? So I send him the record. Now, once I send him the record, I'm hitting him like, hey, did we get to the remix yet? Because time is going by. A month. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, don't worry, I got you, man. The timing's gonna be right. And I'm like, cool. So I'm still settled in that. I'm just waiting on this remix. Even though time is winding down. Long story short, the communication really slowed up. Really, really, really slowed up. To the point it was completely slowed up. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm saying, he don't owe me nothing. Like you said earlier. You don't owe me nothing. You've made a career, a amazing career for yourself. You don't owe me nothing, bro.
Nada.
Not a thing.
Nah.
I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I can't take no credit for nothing that's going on over that side.
Because he wrote for you back in the day.
Come on, bro. You don't owe me nothing.
None at all.
So I'm grateful that you even thought to even do this remix.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
big.
saying? That's the only thing I could look at it. But if you don't do it, bro, I still love you because the fact that you thought about doing it.
But he invited you to the show and all that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But you're a busy guy.
Gotcha.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. So time goes by. In my spirit, I've like released it. I'm thankful. But also, I will say this, what it did for me was let me know that I did have something for him to even want to be involved in it. Like, okay, wait a minute. Let me start really digging into who I am as a writer, as an artist, because, you know, you don't really see yourself as great. You know what I'm saying? But other people can see it. So time goes by, and one day I get a text on my phone. No words or anything. It's my wife texts me. I don't even know. I'm like, because when we don't say anything in a text, it's usually something funny or something that's like, huh? So she texts me. I look. I'm like, what's this? I hit play. When I hit play, it's Pharrell and a choir on Good Morning America singing basically my record on Good Morning America.
That's good. That's a good thing.
With it being in the Hidden Figures soundtrack movie. It's the lead off for that.
Nigga, you on.
I'm on. In my mind, I didn't think I was on. Like, I didn't think from a perspective of I'm on. No, I'm thinking from a perspective of because he changed it. It sounded like he was trying to remix the original.
Hold on.
Yeah. Interrupt me, please.
So you got credit for it because he remixed it.
No.
That's your remix.
No. There's no nothing. This is out. I've not been talked to. What are you talking about? Okay?
Hold on.
Stop
made
insulting
changes.
me.
What?
Yes. So when I hear the record, the first thing I think is this got to be a mistake. Maybe he meant to reach out and he just wanted to use, you know, my sound on this record.
Hold on. How did you fix? All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
So it sounded like it to her.
She didn't send it to me because it sounded like somebody else she knew. It sounded just like the record, the beat, everything. It just was a remix of it and new lyrics. So the feel and everything. So I said, you know, in my mind, I just said, okay, wait a minute, man. I ain't even going to trip. Let's just figure this out. Okay? So I hit him.
Damn.
No response. So I hit him again, no response. I'm calling. 'Cause I'm like, man, I can't, what am I going to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, I said, I'm not going to do anything today.
Damn, I just quoted this.
I said, I'm not going to do anything today because I don't want to move off emotion. And this could be settled and I could actually be in a better position like you just said. I had to look at it from that, bro. Just playing, you know.
Hey, that's how I'm going to look at it off top.
Yeah,
off top.
Right.
I'm not even thinking about, I don't know what happened with that, but I'm not even thinking about suing or nothing. All I'm thinking about is I'm on because I know that's mine. I'm good.
Right. Well,
thank you.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because, see, this is what you got to realize, man. In this industry, it's about opportunity. It ain't about just like some money.
Gotcha. Okay.
Put me in the room, my brother.
Talk that talk.
You know, this is what I do. I write music. I ain't no rapper. I can rap my butt off. Like, but I'm a songwriter, bro.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a musician for real.
Gotcha.
Put me in the room with Kirk Franklin. Put me in the room with Kim Burrell and let me make my own way. You don't get to decide whether, you know what I'm saying? But you chose to make that decision. So, long story short, the next day I call, phone number change.
Ooh.
Now I'm in a different mode. Now I'm in a different mode.
Wrong what?
Wrong one.
Oh, well, you heard this one then.
Phone number change. You know, I'm a classic. Listen, classic industry stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I do, bro. And this is the God honest truth. I was renting a home out in Chesapeake at the time, working, you know, a regular job, going to work every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just surviving, bro. And I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I don't got no money to pay no entertainment lawyer right now. Like who? And I don't even know one if I did. So this is what I did. I'm gonna just give you.
But
what,
it's blatantly just. Blatantly sounds.
It's no question about it. Like
it ain't no like. I can see that.
Nah. It's you know, and the thing is, you know, because you know, you were just sent this record. You didn't just think of this. Oh, let me just. You'd have been better off just like not telling me to sing you the record and doing it without, you know, just off of the internet or something. But you wanted the stems. You wanted to study it.
And what's the name of the song?
That I did? It was called It's Gonna Be All Right. The name of the record that he put out was called I See a Victory.
And that's on the soundtrack of
Hidden Figures right now.
That's the Taraji.
Yeah.
Oh.
With all the astronauts and all of that space.
The African-American ladies.
So I'm like, and this is the first time, let me just say this too. This is the first time that you see a choir presented on this record. Gospel, feel, whatever is being presented. So I'm like, cool. The next day I said, Lord, this is what I did. I just really prayed, man. I asked God, what do I do? And the Lord said, man, just start looking up entertainment lawyers. So I said, all right. I start Googling Virginia. I'm Googling. And I just click on the first one in Richmond. I said, oh, it's one in Richmond. Let me check this guy out. When I click on the guy, I never forget it, bro, because I start scrolling at his clients. And then something just popped out to me. And it was the lady's name, but it said Hidden Figures beside it. And I said, wait a minute. So he represents the lady who wrote the book for the movie. So I said, God, you can't be playing with me like this. Are you serious? There's someone in Virginia that's connected already to the movie because he represented the lady in her deal for them to even do the movie.
Man.
So the next day, I was on the phone with him. Once I showed him, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Once I showed him everything, because you know I'm the type, like, bro, I'm going to save everything. Emails, text messages, everything. So when I laid it out before him, he said, I got it. Don't even worry about nothing. And that's when the process began. You know what I'm saying? And
who was actually singing on it now, though?
Kim Burrell was singing on the record. And then what really kind of like threw me off was Kirk Franklin was listed on the record as a person. And I'm like, well, what he had to do with the song? Unless you just wanted a top gospel name to go with the record to push it.
Yeah, of course.
So at that point now I'm like, nah. So I got the dude involved. And it didn't take long, man, for things to get resolved. Because of what it looked like, what I had, it was no contesting that this was done. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was malicious intent, I can't say.
So you still didn't have a conversation with him?
Nah. And that's another thing. That's why I'm talking about it now. Cause you and then see, and one of the reasons why it really pushed me to say, you know what, my legacy's at stake now, and I'm putting out new music, you know, and then people, when I had did a record called breakthrough with one of my artists. And it did like 50,000 streams the first couple of weeks. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's no machine behind this. Not crazy, but this is enough to make me think, why is this happening? So I started looking and realizing that people in other countries still rock with Mike E. And so now I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I can still do this independently. You know what I'm saying? So then what really pushed me to say, you know what? It's no need to have a conversation is when I saw when I didn't see it, but is when people were contacting me. Someone actually just tagged me on Facebook and made me a Lego, a person. When the Lego movie came out that he put out, somebody we went to high school with tagged me and said, I want to make Mike Etheridge a Lego because he was not in the movie and he's the reason why that studio door was kicked down the way that it was. He was a part of that.
Shit, you need a Lego. I need a Lego too.
So look,
even pretty need a Lego. We all need Lego.
I was on that stage.
It wasn't the fact. Look,
I left off bad and bougie.
it wasn't the fact of the movie itself. It was the fact of the origins of the Neptunes needed to be explained.
Yeah.
And so, and that's part of my legacy.
Yeah.
So now I gotta make sure that we're making it clear.
So you don't have to sign nothing though.
What?
Like what is it called? NDA?
Yeah, NDA.
An amicable agreement is what it's called. So as far as like, I won't tell you how much money I got.
Oh, so you got paid?
I said an amicable agreement. I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? All I can tell you is I was in agreement with what was done through the lawyers. Okay? There was never a conversation. It worked out in my favor, and it's still working out in my favor. That's all I'm gonna say, and that's why there's no hate. If right now we could have a conversation, me and him, and move on and do something great. If that was the case, I know that may not be the case on his end.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how and it's crazy because I can easily sit up here and say what the average person to say, damn, that nigga, it got you, right? But I'm just a firm believer of shit fall in your lap.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
It
It was supposed to happen.
I agree.
That's a way of you gotta do your howework on it, you know what I mean, and catch it. But it's still
It's a
nigga, to
blessing.
throw you a bone because
It's a blessing.
like you're saying, I don't know what you got. If you still getting paid, however it is.
Yeah.
But to even go through it for him to even do that, that's how it was supposed to go.
To go
you know
through
what I'm
it
saying?
was needed. And also, to be honest, like the main thing, and that's why I feel it's important to speak about, because people need to realize that no matter what you go through, and a lot of times what you go through helps to build who you are.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have the confidence to complete what I've done independently if that hadn't happened to me and I understood how great the music that I was creating was, that you went to these links to do that. So that's the story. The story isn't, I'm just sitting here talking about what. No, the story is, thank you, Jesus, that I was still important enough to be included in your latter days, that you needed to come grab something from me that you couldn't find within yourself at that time.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna touch on this real quick, right? And this is not to take away from no great ones, right? Because I'm saying Pharrell is a great one. You can't take away that from him.
You can't.
Even like people like the Jay-Z's and from everybody, you know what I mean? Especially when you become that great. The whole thing about being great is you learn how to keep reinventing yourself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And like how they always say, Jay-Z take rhymes from people and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I never heard that.
Oh yeah. He like from when he had the Young Guns and all them.
Okay.
He don't take this is what they say. He don't go and take they per se actually rhymes, but the whole thing of so for instance, me in the when I was in the drug gang, right? I was a cool motherfucker, right? But now I had little cousins in them who was coming up. Like my cousin King and like Ray, like all these guys had a certain swag and certain things that they used to do, and I'm getting older and I'm outdated. You know what I mean? So I'm pulling stuff from them now. You know what I mean?
Reinventing
and putting it with me. You know what I'm saying?
I think
but off top, by looking at it, you ain't gonna look and say, "Oh, I got it from them." You can look at it and say, yo, they copying me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's my shit now. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, give me that. You understand what I'm saying? Because it started with me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just, for me, it's just about individual creativity. No one could duplicate what he does.
But I say that, but I say that to say, meaning that sometimes them great minds have to go back to the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
I felt like that was a lot of, because our conversation.
So pull more stuff
I won't get into what we talked about for those 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like that conversation was a lot of what you're saying. He wanted to feel the presence of his, purity of people who weren't around during his rise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But still had a genuine respect and for musically and all that. So man, I get it.
But then trust me, guys who are like that too, and just anybody, I ain't gonna say even guys like that, watch, like I said, how I watch my cousins and all them. He keep his ear to the street. You know what I mean? Meaning, like, he been watching you the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you're actually doing.
Well, my thing is this.
They never ever stop.
I believe that. But my thing is this.
Because Pete, because he could have easily, well, let me ask you this. Because I don't know music like that. When you say he asked for the stems and all that kind of stuff like that, right? Could he have had did what he did without the stems?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I thought that would have been a better approach, because then I couldn't have said nothing.
Yeah, so that's
in my opinion.
So that's why I'm getting at. For him to say all this and all that, and then to come up, then you to get, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I could do it anyway, but I'm letting you know I'm doing it. Well,
listen,
like I said, I ain't trying to.
No, what I'm going to say is I'm going to disagree with you. Because at the end of the day, I don't live my life like that, bro. Like, I don't think like how you think.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think on the up and up. I think on respect. I think on
reality.
I think on, like, just for me, I couldn't recreate. Like, if my man write a record, I got artists. You write a song, that's your record. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. I don't. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? Because I represent something different. So I just can't. I'm not saying that. Some people may see it that way. Yeah. But for me, I feel like, nah, man.
No, I mean, feel like I'm with you, right?
We should allow creatives to be creative, and I think creativity should be respected from another creative.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find some good from it, which is the good is you're rocking on. You know what I'm saying?
No. The good is OGs. Yeah. The good is it's gonna break through. The good is the Count Your Blessings record. Like, I'm still moving.
And the good is the Convo.
Come on.
The conversation.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm telling y'all, right? With stuff like this right here. So, like, with these stories and stuff, like, and the whole reason what I'm getting at too, right, is when I asked you, I said, why do you talk about that and put your life still with all that in the same way that I do?
Yeah.
Right? And I say that for a reason, right? Because to let the people know, like, everything runs on history, right? But now, wouldn't nobody know that you wrote that record? Wouldn't nobody know any of that, right? So for us to put that out there, it don't have nothing to do with us trying to slight Pharrell at all.
Right.
It's about getting the message out there that he's a creative brother.
There you go.
And for the people who knows about music and all that, for Pharrell to call him to even do that, I'm going beyond that. Y'all need to call him. Y'all need to give him that, because you see what he do. That. If Pharrell can call him,
I appreciate that.
So I look at it like all this in the light of now for what all of us is doing right now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? To actually show what we did and who we are, and showing that regardless, I don't care how you said, we living on old shit, or living on the past.
Well, you know what? Let me interject right there, because I had someone actually. Yeah, people say that.
I love it.
But my thing is, well, just let's take God for an example. Let's take the Bible for an example. Jesus is the New Testament.
Okay.
But he said, I'm the fulfillment of the Old Testament. So because Jesus came, to that mean I stop reading the Old Testament? Do I start reading that God created man from the dust of the earth? Do I start reading Let There Be Light? Do I start reading the book of Isaiah and the prophets and all of the people who prophesied about Jesus' coming? Do I throw that away now because it's been fulfilled? No, it's all a part of it.
you don't start a movie from the middle of
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm going to just say this too. The greater thing for me is, bro, honestly, and that's the thing, I don't have no hate, because somebody was like, you got to get that hate out. Nah, hate, there's no hate in my heart.
Why would they say that? Why would a person say that you're hating? Like,
I guess just because I had actually posted. Well, I don't want to just say that because we didn't bring that up. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah.
Hold on. We don't do that. We don't do that.
Well, the thing is.
I never used this button before, ever. I don't use this button before.
I'm going to say this. This is what I'm going to say. There's a situation happening right now within our original crew.
Okay, hold on. That's cool. I'm not even talking about
No, but
that.
the reason I'm saying that is that's why they said I was hating, because I posted about it.
Because you posted about...
The situation that's going on right now
Gotcha.
with the Neptunes. I posted about it.
But how did you post? Was it because I didn't see it? I don't
Well,
know. I don't know
I'm
nothing
gonna
about it.
tell you what I said. I don't mind saying. I said, been there, done that. This is I already been through this with him internally.
So you just came out the blue and just said,
No, I posted him and Chad. Just to be clear, because Chad is my man still. Like, I wouldn't be here without Chad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna always be an advocate for Chad.
And that's because when Chad came and helped you out with,
Chad could have easily said,
"Nah,
I ain't rocking with you."
Okay.
Right.
But me and Chad became like this. Me and Chad was the ones in the studio every day with Serb in Geneva and Teddy making sure we had those studio sessions. Chad is the one who was in there learning from Teddy Riley to understand sonics and all of that. He didn't have that experience until my project, because we were in the studio every day with Teddy. That didn't exist prior to the project.
Okay, so hold on. So you put up a post just for Chad. So
Saying I've been through what Chad is going through already.
So that's what the
To some degree.
So that's what the thing what they was talking about with Chad going through the whole lawsuit. So you came and you put up a post with that.
Saying that I've been through this already. And I stand with Chad. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I'm not hiding from that part of my story anymore.
Now, you got every right to tell your story. And like I'm saying, you know, I'm just but I think for a person, now I just think for a person to come and probably say you hating.
No, they didn't say that.
I don't know.
They said get your hatred out of your heart, which I don't have any hatred in my heart.
I mean, I can, like I said, I'm just, you know what I mean? The whole reason why I'm like looking at that and I'm like, I know you're not no hater.
Right,
So we
and I don't have any hatred in my heart either.
But I can see where a person would say that because it's like, you ain't got shit to do with that. You ain't got shit to do with Pharrell and Chad going through what they going through for you to just come in there and say, oh, I see what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? That's why it would seem like, damn, nigga, like.
Well, put it this way. Put it this way. Put it this way.
But I know you're not no hater and saying
no,
it.
No, what I'm saying is I do have something to do with it, and that I can relate to the situation. And that I'm also an original member of the Neptunes who went through a similar situation, but not in depth but still it revealed there's something wrong here when things even have to make it this far. So that's all I was saying, you know. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who thinks what they can think whatever they want about it.
That's true.
I can speak on anything. I have the right just like anybody else in the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my opinion is going to be based on my experience.
Yeah. I mean, and I get that, but I'm just saying, and you probably, like I said, you don't got the degree, you know what I mean?
No.
But you can't see for a person to actually just say it because it's like, well, damn, what the fuck? You know, because if it was me and it was somebody, because like I said, I don't know if that person is a bot or if it's for real, man. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, if it's like a person who don't know the situation, then it's like, nigga, all right. But if you just said it's like an in-house or whatever.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at it for a person who is close to Pharrell, and then to see that, I can see them saying, man, that's some hating shit. Like, nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? I can just see that.
Well, I mean, listen, anything I say gonna be some hating.
Oh, that's always.
If they're close to that camp.
You're right.
So that's the thing is, I've accepted that. Like, I don't care.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, the story speaks for itself. I don't have to sensationalize anything. I don't have to make anything up. I don't have to like add nothing to it to make it bigger. One thing about me, everything you hear come out of my mouth is facts. Ain't no no extra on it. Ain't no trying to make it look bigger than what it is. I don't do that.
Yeah. But one thing I'm gonna say before we even get out of here, right?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm gonna say this right here, right? I even understand from, like, even with myself, right? Because like I'm saying, like, I see a lot of the situation is not the same, but it's something similar, even with me talking about the old stuff that I used to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I'm in 100% agreement with you when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying?
And also, I want to say that it's not, again, hatred is, you know.
Not that hatred was the wrong word.
Or even hate in my heart is to try to make a person look bad, man. And at the end of the day, that's not my goal. You've heard me sit here, you know, throughout this entire interview and speak highly of the creativity of Pharrell, you know, and who he is as a producer, a writer, a musician, a creative. Even now with the clothes, you know, the guy's an amazing artist. He can draw. I'm sure he sketched some great things that have gone on to sell. But my point is, just like with you, no matter whatever you went through, because I wasn't a part of that, so I can't speak on that, but whatever you went through in your situation of dealing with that movement, it's part of your story.
Yeah. I ain't skipping past that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't.
I ain't going from bloop to, you know what, let me jump over this shit and come.
And also, I would say this, just think about it.
Not gonna happen.
My story would have ended. My story, as far as the Neptunes, would have ended with, you know, okay, I had a deal and they went on to do great things. That would have been the end of the story.
Yeah.
That would have really been the end of the story.
Yeah.
Until that phone rang.
Yeah.
And Tammy Lucas called me saying he wants your phone number.
Yeah.
Then the story continued because now you've inserted me back into the situation. And then this happens, which is, I can't help it. It's not the greatest of experience, but I don't know if it would have opened, if my doors would have been open for me to do what I'm doing today if that hadn't happened. That's why on one of the records I say, man, it's a blessing what you did to me.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it.
I'm not mad at you. I'm thankful.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Listen,
you know
I was able to do things from that I couldn't have done without that situation happening. So I'm not, but I do feel like, it, like you said a few moments ago, it's important for my story so people can say, okay, let me see what he can do creatively. Not let me look at him because he's a bad person. No, what is this guy about creatively? Because I want to share things through my music that I think will help a lot of people.
And that's what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna do. Because like I say, man, all of this stuff, what we are doing, from Pretty to you.
Oh man,
to
it's
myself,
amazing.
all that go full circle. But like what I was gonna say a while ago, like I said before we get out of here, you know, I definitely want to say this. I want to give a shout out to, you know, Pharrell and the Clips, them guys and stuff. Because like I'm saying, like all of us have is only a piece of each one of our stories.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I do understand how we were saying earlier is levels. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this stuff,
It's
right?
level.
And
For sure.
we're like in the beginning stages of finally being able to tell our story, our real story, right? And that's what we using or use to piggyback so y'all can hear our stories, right? But that's what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So for guys them to, when they say, hey man, how come I do this and I do that? It's like, you think we're not going to piggyback off of Grammy nominee winners and super producers and all that? Like, it don't make no sense not to, right? But now that's what I'm curating now, because that's not my story and everybody know my story. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I say that to say, I understand their position of not wanting to revisit old wounds and stuff, right? Because I see the stages where they're going at.
Right.
Now they're Grammy nominated. They don't want to talking about what they used to do and all that kind of stuff and that.
Facts.
Because that's not their story.
Right.
And they're trying to cross over. This is our story.
Yeah.
Right? So just so happened.
Yeah.
Just so happened.
It's a part of it.
So just happened.
And I want to say this too, you know, Shout out to No Malice too. I mean Malice. Yeah. I wanted to say shout out to Malice and Eclipse because I really am proud of everything. And I even saw Pusha recently, not too long ago, maybe like last year, at one of our mutual friends' birthday parties. And I had an opportunity to tell him how proud I was of what he's done with the Cousins Festival, with his music. You know, I really, because he actually came to the studio one time and wrote a rhyme for Tracy, rest in peace, at one of my sessions.
Tracy Selby, right?
I'm not sure of her last name, but yeah. And that was the first time all of us had really heard him, what he could do. And I remember Markel was like, yo, that Pusha dude, he's dope. And we all was like, because nobody really knew he could rap like that. And he wrote her song. But I wanted to say that because all of my experiences, just to be clear, you know, with the Clips, Pusha T, Malice, have been amazing. There's nothing but love there. And I mean, even especially with Malice, there's a brotherhood, man, that, I mean, we just have. And still to this day. So just to be clear, you know, because I don't know I wasn't a part of anything that went on with y'all and your movement with them. Okay? So just to be...
having but great things.
Yeah, but just to be clear, you know, those guys are amazing, man. Everybody that's doing something great from Virginia needs to be celebrated. And then one last thing before we go.
But hold on.
Okay.
Because I
yeah, you got to piggyback on that.
I was trying to, what you call it? But real quick, what you just said, when you go back and said you don't know what went on to us, did something happen with us?
No. I'm saying I can't.
I want to make sure we.
No. What I'm saying is I wasn't.
Okay, I don't think nothing wrong. I
know what I'm saying is I wasn't in that. Like, you know, I wasn't around for any of that.
Yeah.
As far as being there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all I could do is just tell you, you know, my experiences. And I just wanted to say, shout out to them because they're putting Virginia on the map. They're making people pay attention to our city and they're making great, you know, those guys are creative geniuses. So I just wanted to put that out there to let the world know, you know, this is not.
And they've been doing it for years, but it's our time. I'm just saying, fuck all that.
It's everybody's time, man. It's everybody's time.
No, it's gonna be that's the thing. It's gonna continue to be their time.
Right.
Their time not stopping, so we can't stop that.
Right.
So now what I'm saying
You're
is,
absolutely right.
fuck all that. It's our time. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm with you, brother.
So that's why I was getting back into saying.
So
that's why I was getting back into saying, love them guys, right?
Right.
So I understand when, you know, with us still, you know, giving them their flowers and we love them and all that, like the world know, like we love them. They ain't never heard us, nobody on this floor here say any negative things, anything about them, right? But what I'm saying is, what I was getting at was, I understand the want to be disassociated
from that
from the past.
That makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying? I get it, because once you become, and that's probably even with some of the friends that they probably even inherited, like right now, they probably disassociating themselves because they have to. You understand what I'm saying?
Levels.
Because you don't know what another person is into.
Yeah.
You don't know like nothing. You know what I'm saying? And them coming from almost getting caught up in an indictment from me, from you know what I mean, from all the situations that's been going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get it.
They gotta focus.
You know what I mean? So you know, you probably got people like, man, how come they don't see like them embracing us and doing all that? And they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they would think it's some kind of friction and all that. It's no friction.
Right.
It's a simple fact of it's levels.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to think that the nigga just gonna call me or I'm just gonna call him.
Right.
We supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
understand what you're saying.
So that's why I would never be in my whole thing on like, damn, man, that nigga ain't fucking with me, ain't fucking with him.
And
I
also want to shout out Malice again, because just to be clear, he did a lot for me. You know, like he featured on one of my records on the gospel project that I did. I produced on his album. He came to a show that I was doing, like a community show out there in Norfolk. So I just wanted to really shout him out, because he didn't have to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? What's
the name of the song?
On his album, he did a song called Still Got Love.
And it's on your album?
No, it's on his album. I produced it, and one of my singers is on the record. And it even talks about the theme of the song is Still Got Love. He's talking to Pharrell in the record and everything, and it's just showing love, man. And so I wanted to just put that out there, like, you know, it's still a family thing in Virginia.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah.
And And for me to tell, and the last thing I want to say before we get out of here, like you said,
it's gonna little teeny look.
I have to do this one last time before we leave, guys. Before we leave,
little teeny bird. Let me eat, bro.
Look, before we leave,
wet my beak.
I gotta
so just wet my beak.
I gotta say this before we leave, man. I really want to say this one last thing before I'm done. Like this will be the last thing, but I really want to shout out Teddy Riley again,
my dog,
because I think people really don't understand what he meant to Virginia music scene and what he invested financially. And even, there would be no Blackstreet, there would be no Guy, there would be no nothing.
It would be nothing
without
man.
Teddy Riley. So I gotta give him love, man, and let people know, like, and I'm gonna tell you right now, probably any financial issues or anything that came up in his life was simply because of his heart, man. He was taking care of everybody. He was the one with the gift, but everybody was eating.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout him out, man, and thank him for all that he invested in me as an artist, man. And no matter what, I'm always going to respect and love what he did for me, because without him, I wouldn't have the musical ability or understanding of studio work, singing, any of that without the great Teddy Riley.
One time for Mikey, man. Hey, but before we get out of here, man.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, bro. I hate to interrupt you again.
Come on. Baby.
I got to talk about my single OGs. It's out now, and that record, is symbolic of being an OG, and it talks about the evolution of OGs. You can watch the interview and hear about the things that I've experienced, but I want to make sure I brought the merch to give you guys. This is for Pretty. All right? Virginia OGs.
Okay.
That's for you, my brother. And for you, sir.
Okay, look, sit there like, I want to see one bag down there.
And for you, sir.
Goodness.
Virginia OGs.
Okay.
And also, for you, sir.
Okay. Virginia OGs, baby.
OG.
Virginia OG. For you, the G Next Life OG edition hat. OGs, Anthony Gonzalez. Virginia on the back. You understand? Yeah.
Word.
And I want to say this,
Word.
He really embodies an OG and what is representative of. He's an original, and rose to that level in the streets. But now he's doing something different. Now he's changed his life. And I think it's important for guys like my sons and other people, to see a guy who's doing something different, man, and changed his life, man, and reformed and out here really, doing something good for the community. And I love what you did with the felons, letting them know how to get their, us, because I'm a felon too, getting our rights back, and also, the trucking thing. And just, man, I see that, it's not just about, the Jeezy story. It's about helping people, man, because you understand the story. And you've always been that way. I just want to shout that out, how you put me on your podcast. You were that guy in the streets who put everybody on, and you're continuing to do that. So shout out,
time, man.
OG, man.
It's our time.
OGs.
But before we get out of here, I had one last question.
Okay, sure.
Because I always ask this right here, because it's all about lesson to legacy.
Yes, sir.
Right. What do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be, I served God until the day that I died, man. And I put, my all into trying to do something different. And then too, I wanted to be that, man, you can survive anything and keep going. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you've been through, I'm 50 years old and I'm still working and doing the things that I love, and I've been blessed, man. So that's what I want the legacy to be for the next generation, to continue and to serve God, man. He'll save your life. He saved my life, as you heard with the story with Pretty. I could have been dead. I'll tell you just real quick before we go, a prophet, when I told you how I had met the Lord, one of the things he said to me this was after K-Def and everything, he said, man, I see a bullet that was trying to go in your back. He don't know me. You know what I mean? And he said, but God said, no, it wasn't going to happen for you, but you're going to write music that go all over the world. He didn't know I was a musician, none of that. So he said, all I see is music coming out of you. But I wanted to say that God has a plan for your life, man. I can't leave without that. Whether you've been in jail, whether you still out there in the streets right now, maybe you're doing your thing, but God still got a plan for your life, man. That's what I wanted to say.
So, man, one time, man, brought to you, hey, 384 months. The
Yeah.
sacrificial
The conversation.
lamb,
And that just wasn't my time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It just wasn't
Until
his
now.
time. You know, I want to get a shout out though to the Chad.
Yeah.
For sure.
I want to get a shout out to Pharrell
For sure.
for his Grammy.
Definitely.
Get a shout out to Pusha and Malice for their Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a shout out to Mad Skills for his Grammy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know, we coming, man, and ain't nothing gonna stop this right here, man, cause we rolling with something bigger than than this, man. Like it's bigger than the program, man, and it's called God, man. And
Amen.
you
Let
can't
go
stop
and let
it.
God.
You can't stop it, man. You know.
Amen.
So all I'm gonna do is just say, man, the conversation.
Mm.
Yeah. You in the convo now. Yeah. Don't just listen. Welcome to the convo. You lucky even tune in. Southgate raised me, now I'm talking to the ruins. Built from pain, stitch faith into ambition. Now my words turn broke dreams into commissions. Every scar got a story, every L was tuition. This the voice of them nights I was wishing. Yeah, the hustle sacred, ain't no superstition. Yeah, I came from them corners where the concrete listen. Every step was a prayer, every flip was a mission. Had to learn early, loyalty don't pay rent, so I married consistency. That's how my days spent. Now I talk like a prophet with receipts in my folder. Life gave me weight, I turn pain into boulders. If you feel lost, pull up a chair and get schooled. I'm the blueprint for broke men. Breaking rules, ain't no fairy tales here, just survivors and checks. I'm the echo of the block mixed with corporate respect. From the gutter to the glow up, God signed the effect. Yeah, you in the convo now. Don't just listen, elevate. You in the convo now. Don't just listen, elevate. Yeah. You in the convo now. Yeah. Don't just listen, elevate. Yeah. You in the convo now. Yeah. Don't just listen, elevate.